Hi and welcome to David Tong Creations channel. Today I am going to be having a look at MPC beats, and I mentioned in my last video that I had used some of the samples that some of the WAV files that came with MPC beats, so today I thought I would actually show you what the whole program looks like, this is completely free, and you get about 2 GB of samples, and like I said, you can use them pretty much in any DAW as well. So this is the kind of initial new, if you go to a new project, this is basically what you get. It's an empty project, basic project. You can have one basically that has all keys. You can have pop, R&B, trap, hip-hop, house, songwriter, and there's also a bunch of demos of songs in these different genres, and that is your projects that you've created down here. So you can see I've done some, well, these aren't all mine, some of them are some of them are other projects that I've brought in. So I thought we'll open a basic one, and that's it, just loaded in the WAV files. So there's one, it basically just brings in one kit. So basically how it works is you work in sequences, so you kind of build up sequences into a song. So each track can have up to 8 parts. So you can have drums, well, you can have like 2 drums, 3 drums, drum tracks, keys, synths, bass. So this is the drum kit. So you could add in like another drum kit, and have and you can switch between them. So if we went to the keys, it'll have loaded up the electric plugin, which is, let's say you've got a bass plugin, an electric, and a tube synth, and these are the the ones that come with it. So I can either play it from my keyboard, and you can see there's a bit of latency because I'm recording with ScreenFlip. There is a bit of latency between, but normally it's pretty good. Or you can actually use the pads, and you can also, if you go to pad perform, you can actually get the pads to play chords, progressions, or whatever you like. So if we go into chords, and then we've got 1, 3, 5, and you can see the keyboard playing it, and you could change that to whatever you want, natural or harmonic minor, and you've got these different, so we could go so that is track 2. So we've got a synth, so tube synth, and it's a pad. So we'll go back to major and 1, 3, 5. I'll try and find the same chord. Right. Yeah, so that's the pad, and that's me playing it on the keyboard. And like I said, you can adjust the volume for each track. And then we have got the bass. So you need to go into notes if you want to play it from the pad. That's not very bassy, is it? Well, we're on 3. Let's put this down to octave 2. Better. Right, so that's me playing it from the keyboard. Like I said, you can change the octaves and go further down or go up. What was it? 3 it was set at, was it? Right, so that is your basic kind of 3 plugins, and you've got different views up here. So you've got, this is the home view, which is the one you're in most of the time, the home view and the track view. So that shows your tracks. Let's go to the drums. I never did the drums, did it? Yeah, so drum track. Right, so I need to go down an octave on my keyboard to make it easier. Right, so we're going from here to wherever we are here. Yeah, that's the last one. Yeah, so it goes from there on the keyboard to here. So we can go. Like I said, there is a bit of latency because of screen flick. So yeah, so hey, yeah. So like I said, you can either click the pads, because like I said, I don't have any pads on my M32. So the best thing is to actually get the MPK Mini Mark III, which is a popular thing to use with MPC beats or for creating beats. I think in general, you can use it in Logic and Ableton and whatever, Cubase, I would imagine, Pro Tools. So yeah, so like I said, this is just your kind of basic template. So what I was going to do was show you a track that I've actually been working on and that I've actually taken through into the song mode. This is all the, so this is the free version, and this is everything that you get with it. So you get, if I just go to that one. Yeah, these are the 3. So you get F9 instruments, you get the beats and the demos and the templates, and then you get the producer kit. And now the producer kit, if we click on that, is the one that has pretty much all the full kits. So if you want to load a kit, you just you can audition these. In the lo-fi track I did, I used Boom Bap and one of the Chill Trap WAV files. So yeah, I mean, like I said, they're really cool. So if you want to use that, you can just drag it in here, and it will add it into the samples section. And like I said, you can increase and decrease the. You can. The good thing is you can do this all from the MPK keyboard. Because none of my keys work on the M32, but none of the control knobs or the transport keys or anything else works. It's just the keys, which is a bit annoying because I've tried mapping it, but it didn't work. So, so yeah. So like I said, this is everything. I said there's absolutely, I don't know how many kits, but there's a lot. Yeah, I mean you do get a lot with it. So even if you're not going to use MPC Beats as a software program, it's worth just downloading it just to get all the samples. But like I said, it's quite good fun. It takes a wee while to get into, but because it is a bit different the way that it works, because you've got your sequences, your tracks, and your programs. But you can also have 4 inserts as well. So it comes with a whole bunch of Air plugins. So if we go here, you can see. So you've got delays and reverbs. I mean, there's absolutely loads of them, and I mean they're all pretty good. I mean, Air does some nice stuff. So you've got EQs, harmonics, modulation, and vintage effects. And you can also add in your own VSTs as well. But to be honest, I tried it and it certainly didn't work very well with some of the ones I've got. So I would just stick to using these, because you can use this within Logic as a plugin. So you could always run this in Logic and use the VSTs that you've got in Logic anyway. So you don't really need to load them into here. 4 inserts, and this is your master output over here. So like I said, you've got you can obviously have different inserts per track as well. So yeah, so like I said, for a free bit, so we've got keys. You see there's an air filter on keys, so we can have a look at that. And like I said, they're kind of quite basic looking, but they they're easy to adjust. So yeah, just have a look at synths. So there's nothing on. There's an air maximizer on the main output. So let's have a look. Is there anything on the bass? No. So there's nothing on the bass. Anyway, so you get the idea. So kind of this is your main view, and then you've got the track view, and obviously you can solo and mute from down here or up here as well. So that's how you can build up the tracks, or the easiest way to build up the tracks is you build like a main sequence, and you kind of start with your like full beat, and then the easiest way is just to copy the sequences and then mute the parts that you don't want. So yeah, so like I said, you could, if you did this, you could mute the drums and just have the keys and the synth or something playing, and then bring the bass in. So yeah, I mean it's pretty simple. So anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to close this down, and then I'm going to open up a track that I've already worked on, and I will show you a bit more about it. Okay, right, welcome back. This is a track that I've been working on using the Trap, which one is it? Trap Kit 808 Love Kit. So I've got 4 sequences and 6 tracks. So you can see they're mostly synths. So yeah, so they're all using the synth tube mainly. So this is kind of how it looks. So you can kind of use these to get the whole sequence in. So yeah, so this is a 4 bar. So you can set the number of bars. So it's mainly either 2 or 4 bars for these type of tracks. And like I said, we're on this Trap Kit. So you can see if I solo this, I'll just play. Right, so like I said, you can see these are all the different parts. So if I let's just use my keyboard. So that is the 808, which is I can actually see it now. Yeah, so that's the 808, and like I said, you can adjust the velocity for the notes quite easily, and also you can actually modify as well as you're going along if you wanted to. You can actually draw in the modifiers as well, which is quite cool. But I'm not actually trying that yet. But so yeah, so you can see what you've got. I'll just kind of solo some of these. Yeah, so. So yeah, so that's that. Then we've got another tom. Right, there's nothing actually on that one. the whole track, so I'm not actually using some of these. Yeah, so if we can switch them back on. Right, so I said you can actually draw in obviously notes as well. So whichever one I'm not using, what am I not? Yeah, I'm not using that. So double click to get rid of it. Yeah, so you can just draw notes in. You can use the pads or you can use your keyboard. So it pretty much covers everything. So yeah, so that is that's the drums. We've got synth. Oh, where we go? Where are we at? Yeah, so we've got the synth. Which is some stutter chords. And we've got the bass. That's it, it's pretty simple. We have got another tube synth. And another tube synth. And last but not least, another tube synth, which is the melody basically, which is so like I said, you've got an absolute ton of presets. So I can't remember what this is. Yeah, pulse sweep. So you can see you've got a lot. They've got plucks, pads, you've got basses, organs, and effects. So yeah, so it's pretty good. And the bass, you've got all these presets as well. And then I'll show you. Oh, hang on. We'll go back to synth. Yeah, if we go to which one is it? Yeah, that one. If we go to, you can actually see what tube synth looks like. So yeah, exactly. It's there's quite a bit to it. So you can actually go in and edit all this. So if we ramp up the volume a bit. So adjust the cutoff. Yeah, so what's that? That's helium bubbles. Yeah, so like I said, you can kind of play around with that, and it's the same with the bass, I think, as well. Let's have a look at the bass. Yeah, so that's all your controls for your adjusting your bass. That is that. We'll just close that, open a new project, don't save that. Right, I don't want to, right, I'll load this back up again and I'll edit that out. Right, so so that is kind of the gist of it. And if you, so once you've got your sequences, so basically, yeah, what I did was just copy the first sequence with pretty much everything in it. If we go to, yeah, with all the tracks, and then all I did was copy the sequences and then mute out the parts that I didn't want. So if we play sequence 2, So this is only 2 bars, and then sequence 3 is 2 bars. And then sequence 4, what I've done is I brought in a vocal sample, so you can have 2 audio tracks as well as the MIDI, and you can switch between them there. So you've got MIDI and audio there, and like I said, I've got some plugins on this as well. So if we go back to that, and then we'll just hear sequence 4. So yeah, basically that is the whole malarkey. So if you go along here, and there's a tiny little arrow there, and then you go to song, and that is the whole song. If you can, hang on, if I just, yeah, there we go. So basically what you do is I've got my, so these are all unused. I'm not quite sure why, but they should have coloured the ones that you've actually. So these 4 are the sequences that I've used. So all you do is, so originally this is blank. So you just drag in the sequences, and you can change the order once you've dragged them in. Because I'm actually starting with sequence 4, which is the one with the that I've decided is going to be the intro. And then all you do is set the number of repeats. So it doesn't necessarily matter how many bars you've got initially, because you can just so this is repeating twice, once, twice. So you can see, so my main sequence is sequence 1, so that is repeating twice, and that's 4 bars. So I think we've got whatever it is, 28 bars. Yeah, it's 28 bars. And as I play it, you'll see that it's queuing up the next sample. It will start flashing. So we'll just play this from the start. Right, so that's it queuing up the next sequence. So that's it playing sequence 2 twice. So this is sequence 3, it's going to play once, and then this is the main sequence. Well, that's going to repeat twice at 4 bars. Right, and that is basically how you make a song in MPC Beats. So once you get your head around it, because it obviously is completely different from Logic, or, well, I mean, I suppose it's more like Ableton Live than probably anything else, because you know, building up clips, and I suppose the sequences are basically the same as the clips. Once you've done this, you can then export. So you want if you want a like a MP3 track, so if you export as audio mixdown, you can then pick whichever format you want. So you've got WAV, AIF, MP. So we'll do an MP3. We'll put it up to 320 bitrate and 41 hertz, and then you can actually add in an audio tail as well. So you can add in a couple of seconds at the end if you want. And then your outputs, and then just export that. So like I said, you could then bring that in if you created a WAV file, you could then bring that in as well to another DAW. And then like I said, you do have options for exporting as patterns, as a sequence, as programs, as loads of other. There's a MIDI sequence and a track file. So you could export this as a MIDI sequence and then bring it into a DAW, and it also has as an Ableton Live set, which is or whatever, or an expansion. So yeah, so there's lots of options for exporting. That is pretty much it. And like I said, you've got also a sampler as well, so you can chop up samples fairly easily. And I mean, to be honest, the best thing to do is if you go onto the Akai YouTube channel and look for if you go into playlists and you go to the MPC Beats Academy playlist, the guy there is just brilliant. There's about 12 videos just running through everything, and he creates songs from scratch, like house, pop, hip hop, or so yeah, and the guy's just brilliant. I mean, he makes it look so goddamn easy. But like I said, the best thing is probably if you want to kind of use this to its full extent, the best thing is to get the MPK Mini controller, which has got 8 pads and 25 keys. And I'll put a link to that keyboard and also the Akai Academy videos and anything else that I can think of as well. So yeah, so hopefully that has been quite informative. And like I said, if nothing else, just download the software for the WAV files. I mean, you're getting 2 GB of samples that you can whack into whatever DAW you're using, and they're pretty good. I mean, there's the kits are you know, they're pretty good. And it covers like whatever, how many genres, I can't remember. I mean, because the producer kit is the main one. So if you go in, so yeah, so you can obviously filter when you're looking for stuff, so you can see all the kind of genres there. You've got everything from chill trap to tech house, R&B, trance, hip hop, future house, future bass. So yeah, so it kind of covers, you know, pretty much everything. So well worth getting. So yeah, it's quite a nice bit of software. And this is like version 1, so there probably will be some updates to it. I can't remember how long. I think it came out middle last year. I think maybe 6-7 months ago. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you are enjoying these videos. And I will see you next week. Bye for now.